I kind of look bald, but I have hair. We're gonna roll with it. What's up guys, it's Bebe. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video today. We haven't had a Scooter cameo in a while. Everybody say hi, Scooter. Okay, love you, bye. Today we're gonna talk about EDC Orlando. I've done lots of coverage for this festival on my channel. So if you want to get more of a first-hand point of view on what the festival is like, definitely go check out my vlogs. I've been 2 years, covered every single day that I went. I put an Instagram story up asking for your guys' questions about this festival. Could be about anything and everything. So I have a lot of different topics that were covered in these questions. So thank you guys for submitting those. Gonna go through all of them. I already have a first timer guide up, so I'll link that above as well. That gives a very dissected overview of the festival and what to expect. If you are considering sending EDC Orlando last minute, I am selling tickets as an INSOMNIAC affiliate, so you can check out the link in my description. I do earn some commission off of that link, just to be transparent, but it does help support me and my channel because, as I always say, I don't make a freaking dime off any of my videos on YouTube. So we gotta take our wins where we can get them. The first question I received is lots of pros, what are the cons? Amazing question, because yes, EDC Orlando is very hyped up. People love it. People have so many positive things to say about it. I'll give you my top 3 cons and you can evaluate yourself. The first one is definitely the location. Just where the festival is positioned in Orlando, not the safest area. Doesn't feel very safe when you leave at night, and if you have to walk a little bit to call an Uber or get to your car. What do you have to say? What's up? Okay, well, apparently Scooter doesn't like the area of EDC Orlando either. Just have your wits about you when you're walking around at night. It is just kind of a dodgy area, doesn't feel the safest, so that's kind of a downside of the festival, I would say. Another con, and I'm assuming this is going to be improved for this year as it has been for every other festival. Please stop scratching at the closet door. The cell service. I've always had terrible cell service at EDC Orlando, and it makes it really hard to get in contact with people. So the way the festival trend has been going this year is that everyone's bringing in cell towers now, and they did this for EDC Vegas, so I'm assuming they will do it for Orlando, so that problem will be solved. But yeah, it really sucks when you're trying to get in contact with people and you can't whatsoever. I would say the third con is the unpredictable weather. I know last year there was a freaking hurricane that came through right before day one. This is kind of a bummer. It rains a lot in Florida, obviously, so you can't really predict the weather at any point. It could start pouring with rain any moment. The weather app is not going to help you. You just have to be prepared clothing wise, what you're going to wear, and bring a rain poncho, because it's just unpredictable. Every single year without fail there has been a rainy day, if not more. Oh, another con of the festival that is really bad is the theft, and I'll talk about that in a minute because I got a question on that as well. Specifically the theft, specifically the phone theft, is horrible every single year. I think it's because the cost of a ticket to EDC Orlando is very cheap, so people buy them very easily to get into the festival just to steal phones. It's crazy the amount of phones that get stolen at this festival, so that's definitely a con, and I'll talk more about that in a second. The next question kind of already hit the point I talked about, but cell service bad in that size event. In my history of attending the event, yes, it's been bad. My guess is that they are going to fix that this year, like most festivals have. It's kind of been a mind fuck, to be honest, to be able to text people in the crowd. Like at EDC Vegas, I was sending pictures of the totems that I was next to, crystal clear, sent immediately with iMessage. Groundbreaking. Don't know where that's been for the past however many years. Also kind of talked about this already, but how is the weather? Unpredictable. Bring a rain poncho. Even if there's not rain on the forecast, keep it in your bag. You will thank yourself if it does in fact rain, because when it rains it pours. Usually clears up very quickly though, because it's Florida and that's just how their weather works. Are you attending? I am not attending EDC Orlando this year. After doing it twice and just doing EDC Vegas, like, I just prefer Vegas and would rather do that. But I do love EDC Orlando, always had a great time, just decided to skip on it this year, save money, do other things. This one is very specific, but I have to include it because it cracks me up. Should I go to the Fisher sunset set or the Alesso sunset set? Personally, I would go to Alesso. I feel like that would be a vibe for that time of day. Will there be a lunchbox meetup this year or a beatbox meetup? Yes, there will be. Details will come closer to the festival, but get excited because there will be. Another question of, are you going? I'm so sorry, besties. I will not be at EDC Orlando this year. I would maybe go back at some point in the future. I do like the festival. I've always had a good time, but I'm just an EDC Vegas girly. I love EDC Vegas. So when it comes to the toss-up between the two, would rather go to Vegas for me personally. I'm doing VIP for the first time this year. What extras should I look forward to? I really like VIP at both the EDCs. I think they have great amenities. Just to think off the top of my head, you get expedited entry, which is nice if you get there later and the lines get long. You have your own line to get in. You have your own viewing areas of the stages so you can get out of the crowd a little bit. You have your own bar, your own food vendors. You have your own merch, which is very nice. So if you want to get merch and it's like sold out at the main tent where it is, go check the VIP section. There's always a concierge on site. You can get your little lanyard. There's also like grab and go things you might need, like earplugs, etc. There's technically complimentary Wi-Fi in VIP. It's hit or miss if it actually works, but if you're struggling with cell service, it's worth a shot to go to the VIP area and see how it works. Trying to think what else. There's usually a beauty bar, which is free. Awesome. Tip your hair braiders if you use that, or makeup artist, whatever it is. And then there's usually a candy making station, which is fun. I honestly think the perks, oh, also the bathrooms. The bathrooms are a huge perk. You don't have to be like wrestling to get through to the porta potties. That's one of my least favorite things about GA. Bathroom trailers, so they're air conditioned, actual toilets, they flush, running water, mirrors. Love, 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 love. One of the best perks of VIP. After party recs besides home base. No shade, our squad just didn't have the best time. That's totally fine. There's other things to check out. I think last time I went to, I think it was a pre-party, but it was at, I want to say the Vanguard was the name of the venue. Not sure if they'll have anything on or listed right now, depending on the festival. But I know there's definitely after parties at either there or another local Orlando venue. So definitely just keep an eye on those to see if anything gets announced. But definitely check out the pre-parties. We saw, I think it was AT Aliens at the Vanguard, and it was super fun. Definitely just keep an eye on after parties because stuff pops up, stuff gets announced. Very good question. Is EDCO worth going to for folks who have to travel far, like other side of the country? My opinion on this is, if you've never done EDC Vegas, or even if you have done EDC Vegas and you want like a little mini version of it, and it's way cheaper, way more accessible, like there's so many shuttles, so many hotels to stay in, all very reasonably priced. I think it's worth traveling for once, but I think if you've already done EDC Vegas, you'll probably just want to stick with that because EDC Orlando is lovely and so much fun and amazing for the price and so accessible. But I think if you're like a diehard EDC Vegas fan, you'll probably want to stick to putting your money towards that. But I do think it's absolutely worth traveling for once to check it out. It's a great festival. I've always had a good time. The stages, production, very similar to EDC Vegas. It's just like a smaller version and there's less stages. So I totally think it's worth checking out once, and then you can decide for yourself if you want to go back. But it's like one of the best bang for your buck festivals, truly. Honestly, probably the best bang for your buck festival. It is so great in terms of production, and the lineup's always great. And again, it's a cheaper price point and much easier for people financially. Now getting into theft. Someone said, how bad is the theft for real? I got a lunchbox, so happy about that. I cannot recommend enough. And hopefully at the time I'm posting this video, you have time to order one. Please get a lunchbox, whether it's the hydration pack or a snack or sling pack. Use code Bebe, as you guys know, always. But the theft is very, very bad at this festival. One of the worst cases of theft I've seen at any event. People work very quickly. They'll steal your phone. You won't even know what happened. It'll just be gone. Don't be that person who gets their phone or their wallet stolen. It's not worth the hassle when you can just buy a lunchbox product. Again, just shamelessly plugging it here, code Bebe saves you a nice little amount off because they are a little bit more expensive. But would you rather spend the money on that hydration pack or hundreds if not thousands of dollars to get all of your shit replaced that you got stolen? It's Raver math. Are there ever surprise DJs or sets? I think the only thing I can recall is sometimes on this one stage, it's called the Corona Beach stage. I don't know if it'll be the same sponsor or a different sponsor, but it's this really small one, like at the back of Circuit Grounds. There's been DJs that just pop up and play there, like surprise sets, and they'll be big artists too. So definitely keep an eye on like the timetable. Suggestions on places to go or what to do as a first timer. I think definitely when you get there, go walk around and see the whole festival. They have a Ferris wheel, which is really fun. I finally got on the Ferris wheel last EDC Orlando because I've never been on a single ride in all of my EDCs combined, which is terrible, but I'm always just running to sets. But yeah, there's the Ferris wheel. Go walk around, see everything. There's performers walking around. There's a really cool bridge that like leads to another stage on like the water. It's super pretty. And just the production is awesome. They keep a lot of the same, like I said, production as EDC Vegas. So definitely go check every single stage out, and there's just lots to see. So yeah. Another, are you and Garrett going to be there? No, he's not going either. We just decided to skip it this year. This one cracked me up. Not EDC Orlando, but how did the RV saga end? Dying to know. I actually did post a video on this on like my EDC recap and review. I told the whole RV saga story. Still traumatized by that, honestly, and still pissed off that we didn't get the full money back because it was so ridiculous. But we did get some money back, and I will never ever be using Outdoorsy again. If there's anything to learn from my videos in terms of raver tips, never use Outdoorsy for your RV reservations, ever. Just don't do it. And I'm still working on that video for you guys, just about like first timer RV festival tips and things you should know if you have absolutely no idea how to drive an RV, use an RV. I'm working on that video for you guys. What shuttles are best, and is home base worth it? I've had people say they love home base. I've had people say that they didn't like home base so much. I think it just depends on your preference. If you're someone who really likes to party all night and do the afters and do pre-parties and just be in that environment constantly, I think home base is worth it for you. In terms of shuttles, it depends on what hotel you're staying at. There's a few different shuttle lines. I would say pick your hotel first based on what rate you like the most or which one just looks the best and most comfortable for you and your group, and cross-check it with the shuttles on EDC Orlando's website to see if there's one that stops close by. I forget the name of the street. I think it's International Drive is the name. So many hotels there, so many shuttle stops. So whatever you think you want to stay at hotel-wise, just cross-check with the shuttles before you actually book it, and you'll likely find that there's a shuttle line that goes directly, if not very close to your hotel. Last question, and a very important one, is EDC Orlando as worth it as EDC Vegas? Personally, I think it depends on your financial situation, your location, all those factors. Like, it really depends on where you live in the country or internationally, and how much you're willing to spend on your festival experience. EDC Orlando is just in general a much easier festival than EDC Vegas. Not just in terms of money, but EDC Orlando is mostly during the day, so it ends at like 11 p.m. or midnight, something like that. So it doesn't crush you as much sleep schedule wise. It's not a camping festival. You're also not camping. Not everyone camps at Vegas, obviously, but I always have. So you don't have to worry about that. You just go back to your hotel or Airbnb. It's just much more chill. It's much smaller, so you're not walking as many steps, and it's just way less physically draining. That being said, EDC Vegas is very physically draining. Like, for me personally, I feel like I have to take like a week to do Vegas every time I do it, because if you're getting there like Wednesday to get into camp on Thursday, and then the festival ends after Sunday, but then your sleep schedule is so fucked up, especially for us coming from the East Coast. Like, I get back Tuesday morning and I'm wrecked for like the next day or two. So then it's like basically a week of, you know, the entire journey. I think it really depends on your preference as well financially. EDC Vegas is obviously very, very expensive. The hotels are very expensive. Even camping's very expensive. The flights are ridiculous, at least for us. Like, every year I get wrecked by the EDC Vegas flight. I will say personally, as someone who's I've done 5 EDCs, 3 of them were Vegas, 2 of them were Orlando. Personally, I think EDC Vegas is more worth it to me, and this is a personal preference because the lineup is more extensive than Orlando. more stages, there's more to do. Like downtown EDC is more expanded. There's camping, like obviously you have the Mesa and you have pre-parties and after parties like right on site where you are. There's EDC week if you want to do that. There's the strip, like all the clubs if you want to do that. There's just more at your disposal for the entire week that you're there. It's also one that more people I know go to from all over the country, so I get to see all of my friends from all different cities. And it's kind of like, besides Ultra, the first big EDM festival of the season, obviously besides Ultra because that's the first one. So you get to see like very cool sets. There's very unique back-to-backs. People are premiering new music, and obviously the production is way more massive and just like the most over-the-top insane production ever. So personally for me, I prefer EDC Vegas. I think it has a little bit more of a magic to it, but I do think EDC Orlando is very much a good bang for your buck if that's what you're looking for and it's more convenient. Just in general, EDC Orlando is more convenient. EDC Vegas is a bitch. Financially, travel-wise, logistically, it's a fucking bitch and it's a beast of a festival, but it is so magical. And just to me, like one of my favorite festivals ever. I love EDC Orlando and I always loved it because it was so fucking easy. It's not that expensive. It's a fucking 2.5 hour flight from me, whereas Vegas is way farther. The hotels are way cheaper. You still get a good lineup, you still get good production. So I think it depends on your preference and where you are in life and what you want to spend your money on. Obviously, everyone is kind of struggling financially right now. So it really depends, but for me personally, if you want to know my opinion, I think EDC Vegas is more worth it, but it is very expensive and that's an investment that you have to be willing and prepared to make, versus EDC Orlando, it's, you know, not as scary of numbers to spend. That is all the questions I got on EDC Orlando. If you guys have any more, feel free to drop them down below. And again, check out my first timer guide, which I will link somewhere up here, and check out the vlogs if you want a very first-hand view of what the festival is like before you go. Be sure to subscribe as well. I always make dance music videos, festival videos, preparation, everything you need to know. So I would love it if you guys stuck around. And I hope you all have a wonderful time at EDC Orlando this year. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.